Okay, so let me just say, I'm still not over the $800 billion stimulus to nowhere, courtesy of Barack Obama. And now we've got $1 billion that we're about to spend. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Trish Regan Show. I'm Trish. We're going to get to that. Plus, we got to talk a little bit more about this whole Clinton dossier thing. And I wanted to open up the airwaves here for you guys to ask me anything. So put your comments in right there below. I'm going to try and get to everyone. But first, remember that portions of this program are brought to you today by Immunity Armor Gold. It's the most advanced immunity boosting formula that you can get in one product. So go to immunityarmorgold.com. Use promo code TRISH10 to get 10% off. That's immunityarmorgold.com. Promo code TRISH10. Like I said, I mean, really, I still remember that $800 billion nonsense to nowhere. Remember all that money? Like it was like, well, I'm from New England area, so I remember like the Boston Big Dig. It kind of felt like that on steroids, right? It was like the Big Dig, except it was like the Big Dig for the nation. It didn't really happen, by the way. Like none of that money, typical government, really seemed to be spent on projects that went anywhere. By the way, I'm sorry, I'm just a numbers gal. I looked at the numbers, and our economy during those years, despite the $800 billion to nowhere, did less than 2% growth. Now, the Obama team wants to tell you, oh, well, we were coming out of that horrible, horrible recession in 2008. All the more reason, by the way, that we should have done wonderfully well, right? All the more reason you're going to have stupendous growth coming out of what we were in. And yet we got less than 2% annualized growth. We just added to our national debt, which is what we're going to do all over again. I guess we're going to be thankful that it wasn't $4 trillion. And I can manage. I can sort of get my head around bridges and roads, provided that's really what it goes, and that it's money well spent, which I have my doubts. But it could have been a lot worse. But here's what I am going to say: for the Democrats, I don't think it could get much worse. They're in a lot of trouble right now, and this is what Joe Biden is going to try and call a win, right? He's trying to tout this as some great thing, and it's going to help him in midterms. I'm sorry, but you know what would have been a win? If you had actually coalesced your party, gotten them together 3 months ago. I guarantee you Governor McAuliffe, former Governor McAuliffe there in Virginia, would have really appreciated if Joe Biden could have gotten a handle on his party. But you know what? Joe Biden can't do it. Nancy Pelosi can't do it. Chuck Schumer cannot do it. This party, the Democrat Party, is being held hostage by some extremists that are really going to mess it up for a whole lot of other people. Look, that's not where the country is. He's making some of the same mistakes that actually people criticized Donald Trump for making, right? They said that Donald Trump was trying to appeal to the base too much. You've got a situation where this guy's trying to appeal to his base too much. And that is not where America is. America is very middle of the road. We don't want you to tax us much. We don't want you to spend our money. We don't want you to take our money. We want our kids to be able to learn in a proper school environment, and we want opportunity for everyone. I mean, how hard is that to get your head around? And yet they're in an environment where they think they got to shove this CRT nonsense down our throat, where they've got to tax everyone to pay for all kinds of pet projects for AOC. Heck, this is a woman who lost tens of thousands of jobs that could have come to her district via Amazon, and she still didn't vote for this $1 trillion infrastructure bill. She's willing to cut off her nose to spite her face. That is the immaturity that we are dealing with right now in Washington, D.C., and it's pretty darn troubling, and yet this is what they're doubling down on. I mean, the crazies on the left have convinced them that, oh, they lost Virginia because they didn't go crazy enough. I'm sorry, no, it's because you look too darn crazy, and you look like you're courting these people, and the more you do that, the more you move to the Bernie Sanders and the AOCs and the Rashida Tlaibs and the Ilhan Omars of the world, the more you're going to lose, which is fine by me, right? Good news for anybody who believes in conservative economic principles. We need them to be out on the fringe because they will continue to lose in that environment. And I think the GOP, they get it right now. They sense it because Americans are pretty simple, right? And to be the party of families and parents, That's a good thing right now. And that's what the GOP is becoming. Well, I told you I would open up the airwaves here to just ask me anything. You know, so many of you have been writing in on Rumble or on YouTube, and I really appreciate that. I love hearing from you always. I think we're very much in agreement here, right? I think that we agree that we don't want money needlessly being spent. We really don't. We all agree that Virginia was a very important win for this nation, an important win for families, an important win for parents. I mean, the idea that this guy was actually suggesting that parents not have say in their children's education, unbelievable. Anyway, a lot of you commenting, you know, nice work. You appreciate what I'm doing. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for sharing this video. Mark Reynolds wrote, I love you, Trish. AJ writes, thanks for standing strong. I will always stand strong. I'm just going to say that. You know what? I have nothing to lose, and I care too much about the independence of our great nation. I care too much about the people of this nation, the children of this nation, and making sure that they have a future. I'm not about to sit around and say, okay, we're going to let the AOCs of the world squander that. We can't. Great job, Trish, writes James Mays. Thank you so much. One of our smartest and strongest and beautiful women. Thank you so much. That's so great to hear. You know, Mark Smith, great to see you back on the air. It's great to be back here. You know what? It's great to be back here on my platform. I mean, you know, big tech's in there in some way, shape, or form, which, by the way, is why I encourage you to make sure that you like this, that you give it a thumbs up, that you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel so that you know when I'm here and you don't get blocked from me in any way, shape, or form. The other thing I'd really love for you to do is go to my website, my news and information site, where we cover a lot of economics, markets, politics, and other interesting things out there, TrishIntel.com, TrishIntel.com. Go there, sign up for my newsletter. You'll get these delivered to you every single day. Richard Ward writing, he was so glad to see that happen in Virginia. We need all the news, good news we can get. You know, I was so glad too. And the thing that makes me so happy is that people were motivated. They were motivated to get out there and vote. It's too easy in this environment where some people are saying, oh, you know, your vote doesn't count, blah, blah, blah. Nonsense. Every single vote counts. And my feeling is, as conservatives and as someone who's, you know, right of center there, I feel like we have to mobilize all the more. We have to mobilize and be smarter than the other side. I mean, that's really the name of this game. And they proved that that could be done in Virginia. So I'm so excited to see that. Congrats, Long Lee writes, to Virginia from California. Let's go, Brandon. God bless America. Someone was asking me about that term the other day. I had to fill them in on the whole meme thing. It's great. Hey, amiga. Trish writes, Benny, what about New Jersey governor? Yeah, you know, that was awfully close. You look at New Jersey, and that should be another wake-up call. Really and truly a wake-up call for the extremists on the left right now, because it's just not what America wants, and America's not going to go there. And I think that there's this wonderful, wonderful opportunity for 2022 and for 2024 for Americans to really take our country back in a meaningful way. Joe Biden has been a lousy president. I mean, I don't need to tell you, Afghanistan, obviously, example, you know, exhibit A, and then you factor in this CRT stuff with the, for goodness sakes, Merrick Garland, you know, trying to unleash the FBI on everyday parents because they want to have a say in their kids' education. It's pretty nuts. Oh, and then by the way, it comes out that his son-in-law runs an education company that's been making tons of money. What do you know? Off of selling this curriculum to schools all across America. I mean, that's just a little, in my book, that's a little too close to home. Anyway, so you've got all that going on, and then you factor in inflation, which we haven't even talked about today, but you know, I've been hitting the table on inflation at nauseum, complaining about inflation because it was so obvious it was going to happen, and here it is, and they want you to believe it's some supply chain baloney. Sure, it's supply chain, that's part of it, but there's a whole lot else going on, and the more you try and hand out money, the more you give out those free checks, guess what? The more inflation you're going to continue to have, right? I mean, it's just the way things work. And for them to try and ignore simple economics is truly, in my view, pretty darn pathetic. Very quickly, I do want to just mention, and we have more on the website about this and more in last Friday's podcast, actually, on this Clinton dossier thing. This story is still continuing to unfold. My sources saying there's going to be a lot more arrests. As far as the report goes, the Durham Report, we saw that the third arrest was made, of course, last week. Most disturbing to me, anyway, is that this particular individual that was compiling research for Christopher Steele, who was compiling research on behalf of Fusion GPS, who was compiling research on behalf of a law firm connected with Hillary Clinton. Well, you keep tracing this all the way back to the original research analyst who had done work for Brookings Institution, the Brookings Institution as well. And it seems that he was somehow getting his information by the likes of the PR executive that had campaigned for Hillary Clinton. So very, very disturbing stuff and dirty tricks, which I don't like. And in the name of fairness and in the name of everything that is America, we need to be better than that. We need to be the land of freedom and opportunity. And we don't play those kind of dirty games. And the fact that it's coming out that somehow those really were part of what went down, that's troubling. Highly, highly troubling. Remember, go and subscribe to me at trishintel.com. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I am here every single day with you. Do go in, ask me anything you want. I like to continue the conversation down there, and I actually write back to quite a few of you as well. So keep it going and stay strong. This is a wonderful, wonderful country, and it's going to continue to be so, I hope, for a very long time.